So now let us see in case of variables, one more important concept. So that is global variables. Okay. So what is meaning of global variables? So global variables opposite is what actually local variables. So we are going to declare the local variables within the function so that their scope and lifetime only within that function. That means you can use them only within that particular function. But what is the meaning of global variable? Global variables we are going to create outside of any function and then we can use them anywhere actually. So the variables which are created outside of a function is calling as actually global variables. Is it clear? So which are created outside of a function. That is very important. Okay. So now let us see with simple example. Let us try to understand this one. So for example, here I written a equal to 5. And here what we are doing is we are going to take one function. So that is what fun. Actually this method, that means this is function or method. About these things we will see very clearly in the later discussion. But right now, time being, don't bother about what is this actually. Try to observe what is the global variable. Now here if I write def and fun means it is a function type. And then if I try to print a value, what is going to happen? Let us check. Now I am running this one. So here we don't have any output. What is your observation? We must call that function actually. So how we are going to call? Here you can see I'm calling now. So now see execution A is created, function definition is observed, and then now you are calling. Now execution going to the fourth line. Now if you see it is going to print a value. So that is what 5. Okay, so you exclusively have to call that function. Until you don't call, it is not going to execute. Then what we are doing here? So this is what actually creating a global variable. Okay, now if you see the next point, sometimes there may be chance of happening that local variable and global variable names may be same actually. So if you have both local and global variable names are same, within the function you have the local preference. That means local variable have the preference, and outside the function global variable have the preference. So how and all, let us see. So for example, within this fun function, we are going to write down a equal to 6. Now if you observe what this inside this function is going to print. So let us to differentiate, let us print something here inside function. Okay, inside function what it is printing, let us observe. So if you try to execute this line now, see here a equal to 5, a equal to 6. That means inside local variable, this is local variable. Let us comment this one, local variable, and this is global variable, right? Global variable. Now here local variable have the preference as we discussed, right? So let us check that point. So inside function value is 6, a value. That is what, because a is 6, that is what reading. Now what we will do is we will try to print outside value also. That means global variable value also. Now this is outside the function, right? So outside function. If you run in the second print, it must print global value, that is 5. So let us check now. So you see inside function value is 6, outside function value is 5 actually. So here 2 times side is there. So now if you run, here it is reading global value, right? So that is what we have to understand first thing. So whenever name conflict is there between global and local, within the function local variable have the preference, and outside the function global variable have the preference. Okay, now let us see one keyword, that is actually global keyword. Okay, so for what purpose we are going to use global keyword? Normally when you create a variable inside a function, that variable is actually local and you can only use within that function. But sometimes to create a global variable within a function, actually inside a function, if you want to create a global variable, we are going to use this global keyword. How and all, let us see here. For example, I want to make this a as global variable. Okay, so that is what I am making like this global, and this I am not using, so I am just making it comment. That means what, this line is not going to execute. Now here you see global a equal to 6, and here one important thing is there. You can observe here underline 6 you got actually, because whenever you are declaring global variable, you should not assign any value there itself. So here if you assign a equal to 6, now there is no error actually. First let us try to execute this one, and then we will see what is going to happen. So if you run this one, first of all, inside function a value is 6, and outside function, though a is not declared outside of anywhere, but still this a local variable a, which is declared as global, you are able to access outside function also. That is why here it is printed 6. Is it clear? So that is very important thing here. Whenever you are, if you want to declare any variable within a function, and if you want to use outside the function, what you have to do? So you must make it as a global. Okay. Then next, let us see another variation within this itself. So I written like this, a equal to 5. Okay. So that means what? To change the value of the global variable within a function, refer to the variable by using global keyword. See, this meaning is a variable a is actually a global variable. Now this variable you want to use within this function. You just not want to use actually, you want to assign some values. This is what you want to assign. So that assignment result you want to use even here also. So that is what, let us try to print this one before this assignment, after this assignment. Okay. So let us differentiate print 1, this one, print 2, and this is print 3. So let us observe what it is going to print actually. Okay. See, here try to understand for what purpose global keyword is required to declare any variable within the function. If you want to use any global variable within the function, and if you want to update also, at that time you must use global keyword. Otherwise, that updation will not reflect at this position, at the third print. So let us observe now. So here you can observe inside function 1, a value is 5 because it is taken from the global value. Now, though it is also referring same variable, but value is changed here, 6. That is why here when you are trying to print in the second print, it is going to print 6 actually. That means value is updated. And whatever updation is happened, that updation is even reflected at the outside the function also. That is what the third print you can observe. Okay. So sometimes this is what the exactly interview question we can say. Why we are using global keyword when you are declaring anyhow variable without using global outside the function. So you can tell that if you want to update the global variable within the function, that if you want to reflect outside after that, you must use global keyword within the function. This is what the main functionality of the global keyword. Otherwise, there is no purpose because anyhow you are creating outside the function also. Okay.